So in this video, I'm going to share with you the first part of the process of adding the bill card product to my WordPress and WooCommerce website. So the reason why this is the first part, because as of this recording, I have only reached up to a certain point because one, I reach a payment wall or gatekeeper, right, of certain functionalities. Two, I'm wondering whether or not to pay for it or if to code it myself based on the knowledge I would have gained a few months back during the course of web design that I took within the diploma that I am currently studying. So I'm kind of between a rock and a hard place. I don't feel confident enough to go and fiddle with code inside WordPress, but also I don't think I should pay for the functionality that I am seeking. So anyway, this is part one of how to add a customizable product within WordPress. And the way I am doing this is using WooCommerce, of course, together with a form, right? So the first thing I'm going to go through is how I created this form using the WordPress Forms functionality that is within WordPress, and why it is I need a form to do the bill card, which is a custom product, and how this whole thing was going to work in my head. So I will show you what I did, how I reached so far, and then of course what needs to come next, and that will be in part 2 of this video. All right, if you're not sure what the bill card is, I have a video you can watch here about how I came up with the bill card, and I talk a lot more about my products and services on my social media, so you can look in the description below and follow me on social media to glean a little bit more about services and products that I do sell, in lieu of my website being up and running, where of course that will have all the things that you can buy from me. Okay, so the first thing I'm doing is creating a form. So of course you're going to log into your WordPress dashboard and you're going to go to WordPress Forms, add new, and you're going to create a blank form. We're not going to use a template because there isn't any template really that is going to give me what I want. So I'm just going to do it from scratch, right? So we're creating a blank form and we're going to add fields, right, which is in a tab, and you'll see standard, fancy, and payment, right? So in the field options tab, you will see general and advanced. Under the add fields, you're going to select, for example, multiple choice. For me, I have to do this, right? And once you select that, you will see it showing up on the right. And under field options is where you can now customize the multiple choice options, right? And for me, I have 8 options and they're numerical. So I want the person to just select one of these numbers. On the right hand side also, you can click and you will have the ability to delete fields or move them around. So if you want to shift a field above another, this is where you will be able to do that, right? So you can use the labels of the fields to pose a question. So this is where I will ask, okay, how many account numbers do you want on your bill card? Then they will answer using the multiple choice. And then I will create other fields with the same type of customization options. So for example, I will add a simple line text field, and when you go into general, under the label, the question will be, what is the billing account information, or something to that effect. And then I can put in a placeholder text to show an example of what I expect them to enter. So I will put in the name of the company and the account number next to it. So that way they will see, okay, this is what is expected to be entered. And what I will do also, you have the ability to put whether or not this field is required. So that means the form will not process unless they enter a value within this field. Now I'm choosing to only put the first field as required because they need to have at least one account number on the card for it to be a valid order. However, I can't put all the fields as required because I don't know what number they're going to choose at the top. So if they choose 6 and I put all 8 as required, then they would not be able to enter the form. So that's why I'm only putting the first field as required, right? So you can also put a description of your field, like a little footnote, right? And under the advanced section is where you are able to put in the placeholder text that I was referring to. You can also change the field size from small to medium or to large. And what you could do, instead of going to add a simple line text field every time, you can just go on the right hand side and copy the previous field and then just change the placeholder text, because everything else more or less will stay the same, because I'm going to be asking the same question 8 times. So that is what I was able to do, right? So even though I had the fields being copied, I hid the labels so that I'm not asking the same question over and over, creating like redundancy. So I just have the question for the first one, and then they could see, okay, you're going to keep entering until you reach your desired customization for your particular order. So at the end of creating the form, you want to go into settings, general, and there is where you can put in the name of your form and a description of the form. So of course I call this form bill card customization, and it would be much easier to find your form now by name, so that when you are inputting this into the WooCommerce side of things, you can just simply find your form very easily, right? So what I would have wanted to do, which once I figure out will be in part 2 of this video, is within the form there are options for you to select payments, because the bill card, the customization is what dictates the price. So I need to take the value selected from the top multiple choice question and use that to calculate the cost of the bill card. And it would be much easier to do this within the whole form, but there's a payment gateway to get the payment side of the form. So I may, like I said, I may code the rest of the form myself, or I may find an alternative plugin, or I may pay for WordPress Forms. One of the three, but something's gonna happen, because I definitely need some sort of area for them to input their customization and for it to automatically calculate the price, because I can't be like, there must be some way to automatically do things on a website, like through code. It can't be that difficult, right? So once you have your form fully done how you want it, when you go into the product section on your WordPress dashboard and you click add new product, there is a way that you can link media and forms. So what you're going to do is, after you fill out the relevant information like your product name, your long description, your SEO meta description, SEO title slug, and the other pertinent information that you would want in there for SEO purposes, you're going to go down and fill in your short description. And here is where you should add the media, because of how the short description displays on your website to the bottom. It is much more pleasing to the eye and it shows up bigger. So you're going to add forms in your short description and let them fill out the customization there, and hopefully process the payment through there as well. So by the way, a quick tip: if you are building your website with an iPad, please remember to click save, because I think I did this form twice, if I recall, and I didn't save it, so I had to do it all over. It was much faster and made this video much shorter, but keep saving what you're doing. In case of anything, you will lose it, right? So if you're enjoying this series, make sure to subscribe. I do weekly videos and I am building a website for my business, which is a little nerve-wracking and exciting at the same time, and I would love to have you on the journey here with me. Here are some videos about building a business and building a website, so you can check them out, and I'll see you in my next video.